November 1951. A fighter jet screams toward an aircraft carrier at 140 miles per hour. The pilot is perfectly aligned, perfect speed, perfect descent, and still he knows he might die. Because if his hook misses the landing cable, he has barely 2 seconds before smashing into steel barriers, fuel tanks, and parked aircraft. This wasn't enemy fire. This was routine landing procedure. And every month, naval pilots were dying until one officer walked into a meeting with an idea so ridiculous, experts called it dangerous, illegal. After World War II, naval aviation entered the jet age, and suddenly aircraft carriers became deadly traps. Propeller aircraft landed slowly. Pilots could cut power and drop safely onto the deck. Jets couldn't. Jet engines needed time to respond. If a pilot lost altitude, adding power didn't save him instantly. It took seconds, and during landing, seconds didn't exist. Carrier decks were brutally simple. 4 arresting cables stretched across the runway. Behind them stood a massive steel barricade. Its purpose? Captain Dennis Campbell was not an engineer. He wasn't designing aircraft. He worked behind desks, attended meetings, filed reports. But Campbell had once been a pilot, and he kept attending funerals. Young aviators, former students, men who survived war only to die landing at home. After one funeral, Campbell reportedly said, "One evening, traveling by train to London, Campbell stared at drawings of flight decks. The problem seemed impossible. Ships couldn't be longer. They couldn't be wider. Then a strange thought appeared." January 1953, USS Antietam, the world's first true angled flight deck. A jet fighter approached for landing. Everything looked perfect until a sudden gust pushed the aircraft high. The pilot floated long. He missed every cable. On older carriers, this ended in disaster. Instead, he pushed the throttle forward. The jet accelerated, lifted, and safely flew away. Moments later, he returned and landed normally. For the first time in carrier history, a mistake did not mean death. Over the following weeks, more than 1,300 landings were conducted. Missed approaches happened regularly. Crashes? Zero. Aircraft losses dropped dramatically. Barrier accidents nearly vanished. Dennis Campbell never celebrated the achievement. He avoided publicity, declined interviews, accepted awards quietly. To him, success meant fewer funerals. Decades later, a naval aviator wrote to his family, "I bolted more than 100 times during my career. That's 100 chances I might have died. Your father gave me 100 second chances." History often remembers weapons, battles, victories. But sometimes the greatest life-saving invention isn't a machine, it's a question, asked by someone unwilling to accept that good people should die because of bad design. All it took was one line, drawn at the right angle. Subscribe for more true stories where one idea changed the world.